Makule, it's good to have you here.
Hotfm. Thank you very much for bringing me on.
World Cup is upon us, and obviously we need to talk about it a bit more. And Hotfm. Right, so what makes the World Cup so big? You know, it's the biggest sporting event, and there's so much talk about the frenzy. You know, you can feel it on the streets, you can feel it in the local center, the viewing center, the bars. What makes it so big?
I think a number of reasons, but to look at it from an African perspective, first of all, I mean, being Africans, obviously. If I want to look at it from how I built my interest in football, back in the day, our parents were not really used to, or they didn't know about European football, or they were not so interested in European football.
Yeah.
It was about national team football and national team, Nations Cups, the World Cups. When Nigeria started going to the World Cup, and you can tell how happy they used to be when Nigeria plays.
Right. So every 4 years, the World Cup comes around. That's something really massive, especially from a Nigerian point of view, especially when we go to the World Cup, which is the reason we're even having this competition. So let's talk about the team itself. 7th of October 2017, that goal against Zambia took us eventually to the World Cup. It looked in doubt at the start, when we got the qualifying phases, the draws made out. But, let's talk about Alex Iwobi, the man who scored the all-important goal that, sees us having this conversation. It was a good time for him to come into the team and do what he was doing. But we need him to certainly be at his best at the World Cup. It hasn't felt like, he's been playing at his 100%, but for the next 1 month or thereabout, we'll surely need him to be the Alex Iwobi we dream of.
Absolutely. You can tell that he's got a lot of talent. He has the abilities. He can take on players. He can dribble. He can score goals.
Yeah.
And he can make passes as well. He can be the playmaker if you want him to be. And the goal he scored against Zambia, I don't think he's getting as much credit as he should be getting for that goal, because as at the time he scored the goal, people didn't realize how important that goal was, because we've had such a smooth qualifying campaign that everybody thought we should be able to defeat Zambia, we should be able to qualify. So that goal didn't mean a lot. Yes, he took us to that. It took us to the final round of qualification.
Yeah.
It took us to the World Cup. But how important that goal was came to bear when we were stripped of the points we took off Algeria because we fielded an ineligible player.
Right.
If Iwobi didn't score that goal, there's a possibility we won't be going to the World Cup.
Right.
If that game against Zambia had ended in a draw, and then we play against Algeria, and those
that game would have been nullified.
That game was nullified. So we need the Alex Iwobi, the best Alex Iwobi we can get.
Yeah.
So to do the goods, to bring the goods for us at the end of the day.
Hopefully he's watching his uncle JJ for some tips, and can play in that mode as well. Who would you say is our most crucial player? Because I mean, being important is one thing. For a team like Portugal, clearly the most important player without any shadow of a doubt is Ronaldo, right? Cristiano. But for Nigeria, you could have Alex Iwobi as the most important player in some opinions. Crucially, who's most crucial for us?
I think Mikel.
Right.
I think Mikel, and for just one singular reason, he's that one player that's very comfortable with the ball in the team.
Yeah.
I think he's the most comfortable with the ball at his feet for the Super Eagles.
We talked about Obi Mikel, we talked about Kelechi Iheanacho for a bit, and obviously Alex Iwobi. Right. So the most important thing now for us, going into the World Cup has been the selection. We've talked about it for so long, and it's finally here. We cannot do anything about it anymore. But going back to the stats, I came across the Golden Glove stats, the Golden Ball, which is the most valuable player, and the top scorers. Now, in the last few World Cups, going back to 2014, for example, in Brazil, James Rodriguez scored 6 goals at the World Cup, and his team didn't win it. You go back to 2010, Thomas Müller was the top scorer, and Germany didn't win it in 2010, right? So you got to say it never really translates that you have a top scorer and that guarantees you the title, right? So if you go back to the Golden Ball award as well, in 2014 in Brazil, Lionel Messi was the Golden Boy, and you go back to 2010, right? You had another player, I think it was
Diego Forlan.
Yeah, right. Diego Forlan was the top scorer. So it tells you something, that you could have the best player in the World Cup in your team, but it doesn't guarantee you the title.
Yeah.
But there's one stat now that counts for everything. The last 5 Golden Glove awards, the last World Cup went to Manuel Neuer.
Yeah.
Germany won the World Cup. You go back to 2010, right? That was in South Africa. You had a certain Spain. Casillas won the World Cup with Spain. Go back to 2006, right, where Italy won the famous World Cup. Zidane headbutt. It was Gigi Buffon, right? You go back to 2002, right? Guess who? Oliver Kahn.
Yeah.
And Germany made the final.
Yeah.
So it tells you amongst all the 3 most important awards, the Golden Ball, the Golden Gloves, and the top scorers, the Golden Gloves is the most important part. So do you think now that given what we've talked about, that Francis Zoho, do you think we have enough in that position?
Now that you put it that way, with all of the perspective that you put into it, it's quite unfortunate that Vincent Anyama is no longer with the Nigerian team. It's quite unfortunate that Kali Keme was bedridden. But Francis Zoho is a young guy, hasn't played in any major tournament, and that counts. You saw what happened with Karius for Liverpool at the Champions League final.
Right.
Karius is not a bad goalkeeper.
No, by any stretch.
Yeah, but you can tell that experience was a problem there. Because even with the second goal that Bale scored, if it was an experienced goalkeeper, you would know that you cannot go for the catch at once.
Yeah, you've got to punch it.
You've got to punch it, you've got to parry it, kill the venom first, and then you catch the ball.
Yeah.
Either of the two. But you cannot go for the catch at first. So experience counts. So from that perspective, you can tell, and even from some of the things that Francis Uzoro has done in some of our friendly games, you can tell that experience counts.
What you're saying is we've got to find a way to shield him, more or less.
We've got to find a way to shield him.
First game, I will play on Saturday, 16th. Croatia, massive game for us, first game. What do you think will be that one?
I think the Croatia game is crucial to us getting out of the group.
Yeah.
How we get out of the group depends on, or whether or not we get out of the group depends on what we do with our first game. Like I said, Croatia will definitely play a lot through Luka Modric.
Right.
So you've got to cut the supply to him or the supply from him. And to me, my best bet is you cut the supply to him. Because we've seen what Luka Modric can do. Once he gets on the ball, even if it's once in the game, he's going to do something that will cripple you. So I think we need to cut that supply to him. If we can do that, and then our players have got to pull their weight.
Yeah.
We can say a lot about the manager, his tactical, setup and all of those things. But players have got to pull their weight. When you're selected, you've got to go there and do justice to that jersey.
Yeah.
You've got to go there and do justice to the selection. So players like Mikel, Victor Moses haven't seen a lot positives as regards Victor Moses in a while, as regards
pulling their weight,
So they've got to pull their weight. We've got a team that could do something.
Yeah.
We've got a team that could do something. And if we win our first game, we expect Iceland to be stubborn. If the odds are in our favor, Iceland could draw against Argentina in the other game.
Right.
So if we win our first game and they draw, it puts us in a fantastic situation.
Yeah.
And even if Argentina wins the first game and we win our first game, we're in a good position as well. Because if you don't win your first game, the second game just got harder, even before you walked into
the first game is really crucial.
First game is important. It can also help you with the confidence of the players. We've got a lot of players that are going to the World Cup for the first time. So if we win the first game, what it does for their confidence cannot be overemphasized going into the second game.
Yeah. Give us a scoreline.
Nigeria, Croatia. As a football analyst, not as a Nigerian, I'm thinking 2-1 in favor of Nigeria. Yes. I said as a football analyst, but I just can't take out the Nigerian part of me.
Right.
So I think 2-1 Nigeria.
2-1 Nigeria, right? Yeah. So it's a bit of a sentimental and expert thing.
Yeah. So there's a balance there.
It's all good. Right. You know what? I give my predictions right after the game. I tell you, it's going to be accurate and very correct.
How do you give predictions after the game?
That's because it's after the game.